Every year, thousands of British runners flood to Liverpool for the European cross-country trials. Despite being held in November, this is regarded as the pinnacle of the domestic cross-country season, as athletes fight for their chance to represent Great Britain at the European Cross-Country Championships. The event brings together seasoned professionals and emerging talent alike. With no entry requirements, this is a mass participation event. Previous experience or form doesn't matter. The best on the day will get the ultimate reward, handing many their first ever international vest. Hosted at Sefton Park, the event is notorious for its unpredictable conditions. Wet, mud, high winds and bitterly cold temperatures make for a difficult racing environment. Unpredictable conditions often lead to very unpredictable results, with underdogs rising to the occasion year after year. In 2024, there's a twist. For the first time, senior and under-23 athletes will not finish the race together. Starting together, the juniors will tail off a lap early, completing only 5.6 kilometres, whilst the seniors stick it out for the full 8 kilometres. The selection policy, however, remains the same. The top 4 in each race will qualify automatically for the European Championships, with 2 extra spots being handed out on a discretionary basis. For some, even after they cross the line, their fate still hangs in the balance. This is British cross-country heritage. This is the Liverpool Cross-Country Challenge. Before we let the athletes cook, it's time to watch me cook, because I know what you're thinking. You've not seen me feature in the video yet, and that is because, unfortunately, I got spiked again. Long story, but I got spiked in the back of the heel. It took my shoe off. I had to stop the race, and I've not actually been able to run for a few days because I've been cut open. But I've been spending my time wisely in the kitchen, getting my protein in, trying to heal up. And this video is sponsored kindly by our friends at HelloFresh. Today we're cooking a speedy ginger lime garlic coconut chicken. Wow, that sounds even nicer than the picture looked. If you want to get HelloFresh at home, because it's super convenient, really, really good for nutrition, time saving, all that sort of stuff, you can get 60% off your first box, 20% off your next 2 months, and free desserts for life, which is like 3 different discounts all in one. So now is a good time to get it. The code and the QR code and stuff like that will all be on the screen for you to see. But I know what you're thinking. What are the portions like? Is it easy to cook? Can an idiot like Callum do it? I'm going to answer all your questions. Now, cue the montage. Always season your chicken. Why? Because if you don't, people on the internet will get annoyed at you. Right, what's next on the recipe? This is the good thing about HelloFresh. I know a lot of people say like, oh, you can just go to the shop or you can buy it yourself or whatever. The recipe is so underrated. Whenever I follow it, I make so much better stuff than when I freestyle it. You just got to swallow your ego, do the cooking. Dill and grate garlic. Or use a garlic press. Don't have that. Zest and half a lime. Do have that. Here's one I prepared earlier. I wish that. Again, I can't stress the simplicity of this. As you can see, the chicken's cooking. Everyone knows how to Everyone knows how to cook chicken. That's already been done. And then pretty much everything else that you see there is all going to get chucked in. And we should have a delightful meal. Alright, here's a little fact for you. I absolutely love desserts. I've got a bit of a sweet tooth at times. And Charlie doesn't know this, but I mentioned there's 3 desserts in the offer. He's not seen these yet. Millionaire shortbread, goo pots. Dessert is served. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I will never learn. Do you like this? Do you like want plenty of sauce or not really?
Yeah, I think yeah. It wasn't too spicy.
No, it's so creamy and fruity. There we go, another HelloFresh lunch. That's going to keep Charlie powered behind the camera. It's going to help my foot heal, and hopefully HelloFresh will continue to support us as we create a lot more videos. Back to the cross country.
The conditions were pretty brutal, to be honest. I mean, I'd probably go as far as saying it was, well, one of the hardest cross country races that I've ever done. But yeah, I tried to put it to the back of my mind and just focus on the job in hand, and that was the racing. So luckily I was in a position where I was fighting to make the team, and I could just focus on kind of the people that were around me and who I was sort of chasing. But every muddy section that I kind of hit, it was pretty hard to ignore that. I mean, it just felt like I'd just banged a hill rep. So yeah, that was tough. The atmosphere was pretty special actually for a cross country race, I would say. You don't really see it like that anywhere else really in the country. But I think that helped as well. Kind of put the conditions to the back of the mind, is that had plenty of support out there, and obviously grateful for that. But yeah, a lot of areas that were pretty dense with people, which I remember seeing. Although I couldn't see much on the last lap, I was seeing double by that point. But yeah, all in all, pretty good day out.
So I don't think my confidence was the highest. I think, given the field, if the race had been on the track of the road, my mentality going in would have been sort of quite a lot different. I don't think I'd have been anywhere near as nervous. But I think that's also kind of the beauty of cross country, is that anything can happen, given like those kind of conditions. So my plan before the race was to sort of sit back a bit that first lap, maybe lap and a half, kind of gauge how quick the under-23s went out with their race being shorter, and then kind of try and work my way into one of those spots on the team by halfway through. But that honestly kind of went out the window about half a mile in, or maybe even less, maybe like 800 meters in. I realised pretty quickly that the gap was opening up straight away to the front pack, and to be honest, it wasn't really a thought process. It was just kind of instincts. Like, I felt fine. Obviously you should feel fine half a mile in, but I didn't really even think what I was doing. I just kind of latched onto the front group, towards the front, and just sort of found myself there. And then it was pretty simple from there. Just stay in the group and get to the finish.
I came down with a little bit of a cold going into Liverpool, which was really annoying, because for the last kind of 5-6 weeks I've been thinking more so about how can I try and win this race, and so after going off pretty hard on the first lap and realising that the body definitely didn't have it to go with those guys for the full race, like, I knew I had to pull back, and yeah, I was in a bit of a box, and felt like, yeah, every time I went through some of the worst parts of the mud, I just wanted to stop running. Like, I wasn't enjoying it. And I will say that, like, the only bit of Liverpool that I enjoyed was coming into the last 100 meters, seeing Scott turn around, seeing Ellis in front of me, and being pretty confident I'd made the team.
Yeah, obviously it feels great to make the podium, but I think prior to the race, any place in that top 6 would have kind of felt the same. Obviously, like, the competitor in me wants to finish a bit higher up, but even on that last lap, I was pretty content with third, and just kind of wanted to enjoy it. I think more so that came from putting a lot of pressure on myself just to perform the week leading up to it, and kind of just like getting the job done no matter what. So it was honestly just a massive, overwhelming sense of relief. And in that last K, once I knew the gap was big enough that I was definitely going to qualify, I just kind of relaxed so much. I think I was really tense and stuff, and once I knew I was pretty much locked into the team, it was just relief, and I could relax, and I kind of forgot I was in third, to be honest. I just enjoyed it into the finish.
On that team, Ellis Cross is going to cross the line. In 4th place, 5th place is Roy Leonard.
Liverpool.
Yeah, and Morpeth Harriers as well.
And for Morpeth, yeah.
It was great, man. I don't really know. We broke away really early on, because I wasn't really that confident coming in, given last year and how shit I was on the grass, and I really didn't know what to expect with being this muddy. But I kind of committed to it. Last sort of half miles I was like just getting the finish up. Just want to get to the end really. But no, it was more relief. Relief more than anything, just getting over the line really.
And Rory, you just said that was one of the hardest races
No,
you've ever done.
it's the hardest day of my life. Like, genuinely, went off hard, so I was like, we all go out hard, we'll get a gap. And I'm like, this is how we do it in Liverpool. I went
get
with
the
gap
sign
and
in the
I was
tracksuit
like, oh
interview?
shit. Like,
He can hold it,
and
not
so
me.
I literally,
I get in trouble for holding it.
big up head start. But actually, wait, hang on, I didn't get auto. But and I heard Ellis coming up behind me. I was like, right, Ellis is going to beat me, but I've got to go with him and just try and like hang on to him. I was thinking about that on the last lap. I had your comment in my head, fucking tough mudder. And he's on the backfield shouting at us. I'm like, oh, this is great.
It's horrible.
Yeah, so all in all, cheers for the weather, Liverpool. And that's hopefully 3 Team Macau going to Europeans. Definitely these 2, and I'll have to wait for the call.
Plus Ephraim.
That'd be absolutely
And
brilliant.
Ephraim.
Running it is an individual sport, but like you spend so much time running with people, and I think putting in just like the work that you have to do to get to this level, like doing it with other people and people that you get on with as well, and your mates. It's like it kind of means a little bit more when everyone has a good day, because it's like we've all had really good races in this past year, but I think we were saying the other week, Callum was saying, we've not all had a good day on the same day. One of us has had like a kind of shit race, so I think when it all comes together on like one day, because it's so hard, like there's so many factors, it just means a little bit more, you know.
But I knew I had this man next to me, and he helped massively. I thought he was struggling a bit, so I came up. I thought I'll go past him a little bit quicker than what he's moving, and hope he just latches on, which is what he did. And I mean, yeah, hopefully we get all of us boys on the plane.
Having the other boys in the race genuinely is what kept me together and got me to the finish in the way that I got there. Ellis came around me with, it's a bit of a blur, but I want to say a lap to go. And because it was Ellis, and because we've run so many steps together, put so many miles in together, so many hard sessions, we've had days where I feel terrible and he's towed me around the session. He's not felt great. I've towed him around the session. And yeah, for that to play out in a race where I'm kind of fighting for my life and Ellis comes around me, it gave me everything I needed on that last lap. And I knew if I could just like hang on to him for half a lap and get me half the way home. But yeah, we managed to kind of stay in touch a little bit during that last lap, and it was what got me there. And again, as I said on the first voice note, like kind of coming into that finish and seeing Scott turning around, seeing Ellis get across the line with me, like you don't get many moments in life, I don't think, where you get to do something like that with some of your best mates. And yeah, we're very lucky that we're going to have that memory on a really, really tough day. That like, hey, we're not all like, you know, mud runners. We like to think that we're probably more track road, and so when we put a performance like that, it shows how tough we all are. And yeah, to share that with mates was pretty special.